He is the finest pitcher of his time, an artist who dominates with guile. And he's the most feared fireballer of his time. His name synonymous with power and intimidation, frightening everyone in his path. There was Gibson and Jenkins, legendary pitchers. When pitted against each other, legendary matchups. Koufax and Marichal, Carlton and Seaver. Tonight, another of those matchups. As usual, the men on the mound will take on dangerous lineups. They will challenge fierce rosters and look into the eyes of devastating sluggers. But tonight brings more than that. Tonight, two of the greatest hurlers of all time will do battle against each other for the very first time. Maddox of the Braves, Johnson of the Astros, head-to-head. And as we look ahead to the 1998 playoffs, best records in the National League become critical. Right now, the Braves by a single game over San Diego. The Astros are lurking. Everybody wants home field advantage the way the playoffs are formatted now. Bob Carpenter, Ray Knight, welcome to Turner Field in Atlanta. A matchup we've been waiting for all week. Let's start with Randy Johnson, Ray, who has been totally dominant since coming over from Seattle.
Well, all you have to know about Randy Johnson, he's the all-time leader in strikeouts per 9 innings, ahead of Nolan Ryan and Sandy Koufax. Great fastball, great slider, comes in with a hard fastball. You'll see him around 97, 98 tonight, then breaks that breaking ball down around your ankles. Nobody can really touch that ball. You can't swing at the breaking ball. If you're going to get him, you got to get him with a fastball away. He doesn't throw a lot of them out there fat. 97, 98 miles an hour, he's nasty.
And the good news for the Braves, it's not in Houston tonight. He has 3 shutouts there, striking out 37 and walking only 3 in those 3 games. Now, Greg Maddox, could he or Roger Clemens or both be headed for a 5th Cy Young this year? He has been that good.
Well, he's unbelievable. You know, you watch him day in and day out. He never changes. He has the ability to throw that sinker to spots in the strike zone, and not very many people can. 97 playoffs here against Bagwell. That pitch was called a ball, then a slider for a strike. He comes back with another slider for a strike. Then watch the movement on this fastball, moving back on the outside part of the plate. Great movement. You use the word guile. That best describes him. Just tough, feels his position well, the best in the business.
But to a man, the Astros feel they match up a lot better with Atlanta than they did during that 3-game sweep a year ago. The playoff pursuit continues. Randy Johnson of Houston and Greg Maddox of Atlanta should be a dandy tonight. Well, it's a gorgeous night in Atlanta. We've had rain in the area. Things have really cooled off, but that will not cool off what we may see on the mound tonight. As we stay on our heavyweight theme, Evander Holyfield in the ballpark tonight threw out the first pitch. He didn't want to leave right away, so they let him meet with the umpires and exchange lineup cards. He can stay as long as he wants as far as we're concerned. Don't tell me he's got rotator cuff problems too. What a great athlete, what a great civic personality he is here in Atlanta. Braves have taken the field. Maddox has taken the mound. And let's have a look at the Houston lineup. Second in the league, hitting at .279. Colorado is number 1 in the league. They're 6th in homers. They are the best speed team in the National League with 136 steals. The Nextel starting lineup starts with Biggio, as it always does. Gutierrez solid in the number 2 hole, but really 1 through 5, they're as good as anybody in baseball. Moises Alou is having a career year, 3rd in the league in batting average. He's in the top 3 in homers and RBIs, career highs. Carl Everett's doing a nice job. Barry will get a lot of play at 3rd now that Billy Spires is hurt.
Pitcher for the Braves, the great Greg Maddox. 17 and 6, 1.98, the best in baseball. Opposition hitting .246 against him. I don't have to say too much about him. He's going to face this real strong Astro lineup tonight. There you see 169 hits and 218 and 2/3 inning pitch. That's phenomenal. You want to just give up as many hits as innings pitched. Tom Seaver used to say if you can combine hits and walks, and that's less than. Defense for the Braves, pretty much as usual, except at first base, and got Colburn starting over there, former catcher, now playing first base, late season acquisition with Galarraga suspended.
We'll have a look at their lineup in the bottom of the inning. Greg Biggio, who many consider now the best leadoff hitter in baseball. He's just out of the 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Biggio. There's that fastball running to the outside corner. Craig gave up on it. It came right back to strike him out.
It certainly is, and he doesn't have the overpowering stuff to do it. But watch Hobby's glove. He's got it about 4 inches outside, moves the ball back. Why it's so tough on right-handed hitters is because this ball appears to be in the left-handed batter's box as it gets about halfway home, and then it moves back.
Due to this young man's emergence. He normally hits lower in the lineup. With Spires out, he's in the number 2 hole tonight. They have great production top to bottom. There's a breaking ball. Maddox hung it, and he put it out into left center. Andrew Jones unable to make the play, and Gutierrez digs for 2. He is out at second base. Quick recovery by Andrew Jones. Base is empty.
Then he gets to his feet very quickly. That's 3 things, and he makes a perfect throw. But watch how he smothers this ball, knocks it down, jumps right to his feet, somehow gets the ball with the good seams, makes a perfect throw to Graffinino. Great tag, some kind of play, and they're talking about him being a Gold Glove winner, if not this year, real close in the future. Another angle, perfect throw, tag right there on the bag. Just, that's a Maddox trying to hit that fastball down the right field line in that front shoulder tight. It will keep you on the ball and allow you.
Lately. But even when he scuffled in St. Louis the other night, he found a way to get the ball game tied into the 8th inning. 2-2 pitch. Up the middle. To his right, Graffinino with a big hop. And the Astros are gone in the top of the 1st. Gutierrez got the hit. Andrew Jones threw him out. And now the other half of our pitching matchup tonight. A good Atlanta team against the dominating Randy Johnson. First in home runs. And their Nextel starting lineup starts with Ozzie Guillen. And then Gerald Williams in right, Chipper Jones at 3rd, and Javier Lopez on fire lately with Galarraga out. Bobby Cox needs his red-hot catcher who's having a career year in that cleanup spot. Then Andrew Jones getting better every day. We talked about Colburn earlier. No surprise to see Ryan Klesko batting 7th. I'm not sure I'd want to be up any higher than that if I'm a left-handed batter against Randy Johnson, the most fearsome man in the game.
I don't know if I'd want to be up there at all. We showed in our open how he can be erratic with his fastball, but that is by choice. Randy Johnson has developed great control early in his career. Tough time, but look at those stats, 1.17. That's mind-boggling. Great fastball, great slider. You're not going to do a whole lot with him unless you get ahead of him in the count. If he gets ahead of you, he's
ask of a kid his first day in the big leagues. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Guillen. Adam reaching, little pop-up left side. Gutierrez out, Alou in, Moises the call, 1 out. Former Yankee hitting .289. He was with Milwaukee last 11-10 for Seattle. He missed on 4 in a row.
Bobby, one thing coming into a league, never having pitched here in Atlanta, Johnson doing a lot of towing out there on the rubber, a lot of pawing with his feet.
Yeah, I guess if you can't pitch off this mound, you can't pitch anywhere, huh? Chipper Jones, the batter. There's the runner moving, breaking ball, no throw. Stolen base number 8 for Gerald Williams. There aren't many base runners to worry about. Chipper Jones this year, 32 home runs. He went deep last night. Only 2 of those from the right side this year. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Galarraga suspension starting tonight. Ball gets away. Osmus didn't know it. And over to third base goes Gerald Williams. That's got to be a pass ball. The ball was down low, but it didn't appear to skip out in front of him.
The ball just got by him, but that's exactly what Osmus did. He thought he had the ball right in the webbing, trapped beneath.
Maybe a fly ball or a ground ball here some way, as Chipper looks for number 101, but he strikes out on the low slider. 2 out now with that runner at third. Here Lopez having the year of his life. 2 out, base hit. And Atlanta takes the lead, 1-0. RBI number 97. He's putting up the best numbers by an Atlanta catcher and really a Braves catcher, because this was in Milwaukee since Joe Torre back in '66.
Well, he really has. And I was talking to Bobby Dews before the game today. As you see, the fastball ripped the opposite, to left field. The ball was actually out away from him. Bobby Dews was saying that Javi Lopez plays every
Lopez having the biggest year by an Atlanta catcher since.
throw. This young man can catch up to it.
3-1 pitch. Another Randy Johnson walk. A walk, a steal, a pass ball, a base hit, now another walk.
Early in his career, there you see just 8 strikes and 11 balls. Early in his career, 91, 92, 93, Randy was terrible with control, leading the American League in walks.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Little bouncer to third. To the bag goes Berry, and the Braves are done. But with Randy Johnson walking to and struggling with control, Atlanta gets the Javier Lopez base hit to take the lead early. Outside. This man came out of the All-Star break on fire, his hottest streak since he was the NL MVP in '94.
Ball, he got it by him a little bit.
2-1 pitch. High fly, right field corner deep. Williams at the track, and he can't get it, and that's a home run. The ball hit above the yellow line, and for Bagwell, who got his 200th earlier this year, that's number 29.
Fourth in home runs. Look at this ball away and mention how Maddox likes to go away with the fastball, and good hitters take the ball the opposite way against him, and there you go. High fly ball to right field, barely eking out.
Now Alou jacks one to the gap in right center, and this is good for a couple. Moises Alou, a .312 batting average into that at bat, and the Houston power hitters go the other way against Greg Maddox. And the batter's box is one of those people. Carl Everett, single season career highs for hits, RBIs, and doubles. 1-0 pitch. He goes the other way, hits it sharply, but Chipper Jones is right there, playing well off the line. You know, Everett's a guy, he's a combination of speed and power, Ray, and I know he intrigued the Mets for quite a while before they finally gave up on him. And last night, both Berry and Spires, who hits left-handed, hit about 100 points higher. Platoon guy on your bench. Runner going, swing, and the ball hits the runner. He is out. Moises Alou was diving head first into third base, and the ball hit him.
The umpire has the discretion. Look here.
See, that ball would have been through because the third baseman's breaking to the bag with the runner. There's no way Chipper Jones would have made that play.
Well, there's no way, and if you actually run behind a fielder and get hit by a ball, it's a no play, and you go ahead and play the ball. And I just wonder in this situation, with third baseman vacating and having no chance for that play with the ball hitting him, should he be out?
Another little subplot to our matchup tonight will be Randy Johnson and Greg Maddox batting against each other. 2 balls, 1 strike. Johnson in the on-deck circle. Bouncer up the middle. That's a base hit. And Randy Johnson will have a chance for his second Major League RBI. This year, with his only Major League RBI, he was 2 for 6 as a Montreal Expo before he went to Seattle in '89. Strode the bat. 5 of the previous 8 have base hits. 4 of them in this inning. And that's out to short. Ozzie Guillen backs up, goes to first, and that'll do it for Houston. They got the leadoff home run from Jeff Bagwell. Home run number 29, RBI number 92. He's big and strong. He took it out here the other way.
A home run has been hit in Florida by a Cardinal, but it ain't McGuire. Ken Merckman's first career home run is a grand slam. He's 443 behind McGuire's 444. The Cardinals up 7-0.
To follow here, bottom 2 in a 1-1 game. Let's go, a chopper to short, forces Gutierrez to lay back, and he boots it. That'll be his 14th error of the year. It's the one part of the Houston ball game that's been rather mediocre this year.
The players about is really tough.
A delayed steal. RC picked off, and then Osmus drops the ball. Either somebody missed a sign or Klesko had a delayed steal. When Osmus looked up, Klesko was frozen halfway to second, and then Brad couldn't handle the baseball. But up the middle, things a bit uncertain. 1-1 pitch. High in the air. Right field. No chance for Klesko to advance. Biggio the catch for the first out. And again, here's John Buccigross.
Let's go to Cleveland. Jim Edmonds in the house for the Angels against Bartolo Colon. Jim Edmonds out of the house. Good news for the Angels, who early in the game lost Darren Erstad. He left the game with an apparent hamstring injury. Of course, he was on the DL in early August with a left hamstring injury.
Control first inning with a walk to Williams, who scored on the Lopez base hit. Then he walked on Drew Jones. Got Coburn to get out of the inning. Maddox, a little flare out into center field. Here comes Everett. He is there, and that's the second out. Ray, let's talk about Hall of Famers. And it's interesting that Koufax and Marichal only had 3 decisions all those times they met out west.
See, that's hard to believe. They played each other so often out there when there were not a lot of teams in the National League, 10 teams total.
Tom Seaver dominating Steve Carlton. Jim Palmer, Catfish Hunter breaking even. Fergie Jenkins, one of the few guys ever to have the edge on Bob Gibson. And I don't think too many people beat Don Drysdale that many times like Juan Marichal of those great Giant team did.
Starts behind a left-handed hitter and then gets the outside part of the plate. That's nasty, boy.
Little chopper to third. Perry plays it to the backhand side. And the Braves are gone in the bottom of the second. The opening error by Gutierrez and the steal do not hurt. 2 stranded by each team. It's 1-1 on to the third. That's his only K so far. That one got the middle of the plate, and Biggio gets it up the middle. 6 base hits now against Greg Maddox. And again, we check in with John Buccigross.
Mark McGwire's third at bat. It could be, it might be, it is. His 145th walk. Time to start a chasing history chart for walks, guys. McGwire's 25 away from Ruth's record.
He is outside. His glove is already 4 or 5 inches off the plate.
Got him on that sinking fastball. Strikeout number 2. That's the first out here in the third.
And Maddox so adept at throwing that ball out there. Great sink on that. We just have to look at the speed to verify what the pitch is.
Bagwell lead off the fourth. Runner goes. Line drive right center. Jones is there. This is going to be a double play if the throw's on target. And there's a different kind of double play. It'll go 8-3. And Andrew Jones has 2 assists on the night and 17 on the year. Astros have lost 3 men on the bases now tonight. And going the other way for a base hit, Gerald Williams. He scored Atlanta's only run walking in the first. Runner goes. Throw is on target but late. And Gerald Williams has his 9th of the year, his 2nd of the game.
Slow to the plate, and on the first move, not a real good jump there. Actually got a poor jump. Good job, Osmus. Good throw, but speed made up for it. Kind of a swiping tag, tagged him over the base.
Andres Galarraga starting his 3-game suspension tonight. Javier Lopez, the cleanup man, next. That's a called third strike, belt high.
You finish hearing the grunt.
It's like that sonic boom thing, huh? Barry goes up high to take a hit away from Lopez. The man with that hit with the runner in scoring position. Since then, they're 0 for 8. Wagner got the save. Leitenberg saved it last night after blowing one Monday night, getting Denny Nagel a win. And for Randy Johnson, his 3rd walk of the game. He'll face Coburn now.
Hitting very well with runners in scoring position, but he'll swing at a lot of bad balls.
2-2, there's one. And a breaking ball down low for the strikeout. Randy Johnson gets his first 2 strikeout innings. And the last time Jeff Bagwell led off like he will in the 4th, it was in the 2nd. He took it the other way, and this game's been 1-1 ever since. Who the players put on their ballots today? Jeff Bagwell leads off. I'd vote for him. He's the kind of opposing player you utterly respect. 1 homer away from 30 now. He rips one up to center as Maddox got the pitch up. Leadoff man aboard for Houston, 3rd time in a row. Here's John Buccigross again.
Bob, it's not Lonnie Smith running over Brian Harper in the 91 World Series, but it's pretty close. Check out Ray Durham. Boom! On Chris Hoyles. Hoyles hangs on as the White Sox are holding on 3-2. Baltimore has lost 9 in a row.
Moises Alou, an opposite field double last time, and then on a bizarre play, hit on the back at third base by a bouncing ball. Maddox very hittable tonight. Slow roller, only one play. They have to play behind the lead runner, and Alou's gone at first.
About how devastating offensively Bagwell has been, and I like to see hitters make adjustments, but man,
he got jammed because he was right up on the plate, and a pop fly to onto Jones for the second out. So Carl Everett's trying everything. He hit the ball the other way last time, bounced out to Jones and ball, and here's Sean Berry.
Maddox doesn't walk a lot of people.
Runner goes. No play at third. Bagwell with his 17th steal. Outfielder on to the right. He goes that way. Tough play there for Colburn. That was not easy. Astros waste the leadoff base hit. They leave Bagwell at third. And the pitching duel we anticipated is now really shaping up.
Chasing history, Destination 62, likely McGuire's last at bat of the night, and look where it goes. He golfs it into the upper deck. 58th homer of the year, 4 away from 62.
And it's the 2nd of September.
He's locked in. He is locked in. He just wants a pitch to hit. Throw him something over the plate, and he's going to hit it a long doggone way.
The good news for pitchers, the Cardinals are off tomorrow. This time next week now.
Oh, at this pace, they're going to obliterate it. It's going to end up with 70 home runs. Move over another 8 or 9 inches to make his angle much tougher.
Look at Klesko go up the middle for a base hit. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitcher on deck. Graffinino, fly ball to center. Klesko won't be able to go anywhere except back to the bag. 1 out. Well, you never know. 1-1 ball game. This could be a 2-1 final. If Maddox lays down on
deck, Maddox gets his bat out front way early.
The ball gets away on a throw to first, and out at second is Klesko. It ricocheted right back to Bagwell.
Over there, as the ball gets away, caroms and hits the concrete facade, comes right back to Bagwell, makes a great off-balance throw, perfect throw. That's unreal, and you got to talk about luck. Now this tag right there, late, whoa, up around the shoulder. It looked like to me he beat that. Now I know he beat it. Well, he ends up on his shoulder.
Now Maddox strikes out. 4 Ks in the game for Randy Johnson, and we are still tied.
I realize how few they really do miss.
Top of the 5th. Brad Osmus for the Astros. Base hit up the middle. 8 hits against Maddox now, who obviously is struggling with location. We've seen him leave more pitches up tonight. 1 for 20 with the bat without a sacrifice bunt. He deadens it beautifully. That was a breaking ball. Dipper Jones on to Graffinino. For 2. Lead run standing on second base here in the top of the 5th inning, a 1-1 game. Houston's point of the game. We never dreamed 8. This one is well hit. Left field. It is gone from Biggio. His RBI total shoots up to 80 on his 19th homer, and Houston leads it 3-1.
Done a lot. Here, just a fastball again. Up in the strike zone. That is not vintage Greg Maddox. That ball moves back over the plate instead of being down around his... He knows that ball's out of here. Instead of being down around his shins, that ball ends up right over the middle of the plate, knee high.
He had given up only 10 home.
4 men in the lineup are going to drive in over 80 runs.
This ball well hit. The other way, Graffinino on a couple of hops. That's the second out.
Club of Alou. Their club has become a complete ball club and maybe as good as anybody in the game.
1-2 pitch to Pell. over the mound, charging Ozzie Guillen for the third out. But a leadoff hit by Osmus, a one-out home run by Craig Biggio. And the Astros explode into the lead. They now lead Maddox and the Braves 3-1 after 4.5.
Greg Maddox, you mentioned about him not getting the ball down.
Randy Johnson gets up and throws out Ozzie Guillen to start the bottom of the 5th inning. Steve Ripley, Chipper Jones to follow, Javier Lopez. Here's the 2-0. High in the air, playable left side, Sean Berry. Now a foul ball, 2 outs. Bases empty with 2 down, bottom of the 5th. John Buccigross, what's happening now?
Bob, we go to Detroit. It's all tied 1-1, top of the 6th. Will Clark, 34 years old, his 34th double of the year. That breaks the 1-1 tie, makes it 2-1. Ivan Rodriguez follows a 2-run homer, and the Rangers lead in the top of the 6th.
And dozens. Texas 2.5 back of Anaheim at the start of the night. Chipper dashes one. Biggio a nifty little pickup. And that quickly the Braves are gone. And that's the first 1-2-3 inning for either pitcher tonight. Bagwell 2 for 2 with a homer. He's the Houston leadoff man. 3-1 Astros. Got a no decision in St. Louis Friday night when the Cards got 3 off him early. Bagwell pops it up a mile high right side. Profanino is out there calling off Gerald Williams for the first down. Bob Carpenter, Ray Knight. And a guy who used to watch Ray a lot as a youngster down in Georgia. Got the war paint on and everything tonight for this matchup. Moises Alou, tired of waiting, steps out. Moises 1 for 2 with a double tonight. Jam job by Maddox, up the middle it goes. Is Craig getting ready for his first 1-2-3? Randy Johnson just did it. That's 2 outs here in the 6th with Carl Everett standing.
That's 202 total base runners. 218 innings, and that's phenomenal.
Well, there answers our question. Another 1-2-3 inning. Each pitcher's now done it. Javier Lopez will lead off in the bottom of the 6th inning. Atlanta may be running out of time here early.
Plate, throwing strikes. The hitters know it, so they go up there aggressive.
Randy Johnson has retired 5 in a row. It's his best streak of the night. You think he smells that lead? High strike. Lopez gone. Bobby Cox really unhappy about that one.
Happy all night, but watch Osmus right here set it up, and his fastball is right there, below the mask.
Like he's at the clubhouse turn and is getting ready for the stretch.
Together. By that, strikeouts.
Breaking ball for the strikeout, and that's 6, including 3 of the last 6. John Buccigross, more highlights tonight.
Destination 62, 3 words, slow pitch softball. Mark McGwire, number 59, the 3rd most ever. Maris 61, Ruth 60, McGwire 59, 3 away from the record. Doesn't play tomorrow, home against the Reds on Friday.
On the verge. He's on the verge right now with 59. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
You know, I asked Mac, what was it, 3 nights ago? And there's a strikeout. Colburn gone. Randy strikes out the side. McGwire said, I never thought I'd have 55 at the end of August. He's got 59 on the 2nd of September, and Johnson's looking pretty good, too. Now, as we get into the 7th inning, let's have a look at the Astros in-game box. Biggio, a big night. Bagwell, almost identical. Craig has a couple of RBIs. Well, the Killer Bees. I mean, that's the story of this club. And Biggio's homer gives them the 2-run lead going into the top of the 7th inning. They've even lost 3 runners on the bases, so this could be a much bigger advantage for Houston than it is right now. Sean Berry for the Astros. Out into right center. On the run, Andrew Jones. It is out of here. Another Houston homer, the 3rd of the night, and they lead Maddox and the Braves 4-1.
Again, another pitch up in the strike zone, right down the middle, belt high. Sean Berry drove it out there, just barely clearing the wall, but You just don't see this many fly runs.
Bouncer up the middle. Osmus. That ball cut off by Ozzie Guillen. Nice play. Sean Berry's 12th of the year.
Coming into this game, the third baseman for the Astros had scored 90 runs and driven in 95 runs.
Randy Johnson, a bouncer out to short. Ozzie Guillen throws him out, and 2 very quick outs now after the home run by Berry.
Just to finish that thought.
And they're not bad there either. Their team ERA second best to Atlanta. Greg Biggio tonight on ESPN if they hold on to win this game. 2-2 from Maddox to Biggio. Got him on the corner. 7th inning stretch time in Atlanta. Greg Maddox having a scuffling night, hitting the ball up, and he's down 4-1. Randy Johnson, the last 3 on strikes. Well hit, right at Biggio. 9 in a row. They'll pinch it in a moment for Maddox. Left-hander John Rocker throwing for Atlanta. I wonder if Bobby Cox
this year almost eclipses the 12 losses he had in the 4 previous seasons.
That weak little pop-up. Bagwell the catch, 2 down. Was hitting .269 with 8 home runs at Double-A Greenville. He gets the call. Welcome to the big leagues, young man. Here's Randy Johnson, your pitcher. This would be 11 in a row, and that's it. On the strikeout in the dirt, Osmus will throw to Bagwell, and this game speeds into the 8th inning. He is absolutely overpowering and dominating right now. 4-1 Houston behind the big unit. You buy Sherwin-Williams Paint and Wallpaper Stores. Randy Johnson still in the ball game. Maddox no, but look at the 10 hits. And he failed by 1 to reach the 2,000 strikeout plateau in his major league career. Randy Johnson is retired. The Atlanta batters. Gutierrez looking to bunt his way on. High pop foul. Javi Lopez for the out. It comes against John Rocker, who has not been scored upon his last 9 times out for Atlanta.
John Rocker, young left-hander, great fastball, 95, 96 mile-an-hour fastball, 180 earned run average from Macon, Georgia. They're really high on this young man. Look at those 16 hits, 30 innings pitched. Has walked a few people, but 33 strikeouts in 30 innings. He and Rudy's.
1 ball, 1 strike to Bell. Derek 0 for 3 tonight. He's 1 for 4 as he lashes 1 to left field.
There's been a lot of talk in the local newspapers questioning Larry Durker's reasoning for...
Ball in the dirt, gets away, down to second base. Bell. Lopez late with the throw. Probably a wild pitch on a nasty breaking ball in the dirt.
Outside pitch.
3-2 to Bagwell. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball down. Rocker gets the second out here in the top of the 8th inning. And he'll face Moises Alou for Wednesday night doubleheader. You'll see a couple of other contending teams tonight. The Mets are in the thick of the wild card race. The Padres on top of the West, like these two, jockeying for home field advantage. Carl Everett 0 for 3 tonight. Bell at second, Alou at first. Good speed for the Astros. We told you they're the best running team in the National League. And a high bouncer out to Guillen. The shovel to Graffinino. Houston has stranded 5 runners tonight, but after 7.5, they lead it 4-1. Top of the order coming up for Atlanta. Off the 4th. Faces Ozzie Guillen, Harold Williams, and Chipper Jones here. And that's a base hit down the left field line by Ozzie Guillen. Pat Corrales tells him to hold it first. And the Braves have Williams, Chipper, and Lopez coming up. Houston has been the comeback team this year. They've come from behind to win 43 times in 98. Up the middle, Johnson knocks it down. That'll get him an out. That's what he's looking for at this point of the game. Runner at second, 1 out. Let's check in again with John Buchagras.
Well, let's go to Boston. Sox down 3-1, bottom 7. It's all about the Benjamin. Mike Benjamin, nothing but net. The Sox tie it up 3-3, bottom of the 7th. Lead the Rangers by 8 in the wild card.
Braves need another hit, and then they need somebody to blast one against Randy Johnson, who's given up 3 home runs as an Astro. Now Randy Johnson is 16-11, about to win number 17. 2-2 pitch. Chipper late, and he's gone on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. That's number 9 for Randy Johnson.
Dominant pitcher I faced was Nolan Ryan, obviously with all the strikeouts and all his no-hitters. Randy Johnson is that same type of pitcher. When he
0-2 pitch. Got it. 10 strikeouts for Randy Johnson. The 99th 10 strikeout game of his career. 4-1 Houston. As Randy Johnson has been tonight, and that's his 99th 10 strikeout game as he blows away Javier Lopez with a breaking ball. You still have to marvel at what some other pitchers have done. Nolan Ryan, 215 10-plus strikeout games. Nobody else in triple figures until Randy does it next time.
Well, look at all those names that are going to be are either in the Hall of Fame or going to be in the Hall of Fame there with Clemens and Randy Johnson. If he can imagine.
Left-hander, one of the old nasty boys from Cincinnati, trying to make a comeback with Atlanta. They tinkered with his delivery down at Richmond after he had an ERA of almost 7 with the Orioles. He was real hittable. 46 hits, 25 walks in 35 innings for Baltimore. Braves needing some veteran help, give him another chance. He faces Sean Berry, who laces one to left field, and Sean Berry has a 3-for-4 night.
Well, Charlton was a left-hander that made his living on throwing the ball hard. Not too many left-handers do that. It's been a tough transition for him. I'm just wondering about who's going to play defense. I mean, at this point, 4-1, you're looking to get out, although 1 run is important.
For 3. They also have a third baseman. 3 balls, 1 strike. Out to short. Kean, Raffanino, and they turn the 6-4-3.
National League. Took 0, zip, none in the American League.
All those years in Hitter's Park, and he never got to swing, huh? There goes the bat, and there go the Astros in the top of the 9th inning. A scoreless night for Norm Charlton. In the bottom of the 9th, Andrew Jones, Greg Colburn, and Ryan Klesko scheduled for Atlanta. Well, the man nobody's been able to hit tonight, Randy Johnson, going for another complete game. His 99th 10 strikeout game on our Wagner game summary. The Astros get power from Bagwell, Biggio, and Berry. Evidently, Randy Johnson having some kind of problem now as he takes the rubber for the bottom of the 9th inning. Chipper Jones, 3 strikeouts and over. Astros did a good job of batting against Greg Maddox. The last thing Larry Dierker wants to do is take any chances with Randy Johnson. He's going to take him out, but he's got another pretty good left-hander to call on.
Yes, he does, and Dierker, having been a pitcher and a power pitcher, knows that there's no reason to push Randy Johnson. Give Wagner
6 saves this year, 58 in his still young major league career. He just turned 27 on the 25th of July. Not as big as Randy Johnson by any means. So, Ray, now, how does he manage to generate the power that he does?
Well, he just has a lot of push in his legs, very strong lower body, and some people are just blessed with great arm action. He gets the most out of it, and Larry Dierker actually said, this is hard to believe after watching him throw the ball last year 95 miles an hour. Look how strong his quads are there. Dierker said that he actually was throwing better this year than he was when he got hurt.
And he got hurt in a very bizarre play. Kelly Stinnett of the Arizona Diamondbacks got him with a line drive back on July 15th. One of the ugliest things you could ever not want to see. It got him on the ear, did some damage to his ear. He suffered a concussion, and Ray, it's a miracle he wasn't hurt worse.
Well, it really is. I was actually, as you see there, returned from the disabled list.
And bear out what everybody was talking about. Derek Bell said it the other night after their come from behind 4-3 win.
The real Randy Johnson.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Long one left field. This ball is gone, and it's a 4-2 game.
Johnson, although Wagner throws the ball 96, 97, it's not like you're facing somebody tougher. His fastball is straighter. He's not as big, doesn't deliver the ball right on top of you, and that may be a factor later on in playoffs or any other time when Wagner follows Johnson.
Colburn lines to center. Right there, though, is Carl Everett for the first out. And rookie infielder Wes Helms. Everybody else is left-handed. 3-2 pitch. Walked in on a fastball up and in. Plenty of looks at the Sosa homer from this afternoon, and believe it or not, the 2 McGuire homers tonight that puts Mark McGuire at 59. Swing and a miss, 0-2. He's really the only established right-handed bat they have left, other than the rookie Helms. Here's the 0-2. Got him, tailing down and away. The 11th Houston strikeout tonight. Randy Johnson had 10 of them.
Well, he throws this ball right there. Osmus hardly having to move his glove. There's not a lot here.
Eddie Perez. Billy Wagner. And the 0-2 pitch will finish off the Braves. Houston wins it 4-2. They take 2 out of 3 in the series, and they win the season series by a count of 5 wins to 4. Randy Johnson 6-1 with Houston. Maddox, the loser, goes 17-7, and it's save number 27 for Billy Wagner. Don't forget, Mets at Padres coming up next on ESPN. Armando Reynoso and Andy Ashby. Gary Thorne and Joe Morgan will have that call for you from Qualcomm Stadium coming up around 10:30 Eastern Time. Lots of highlights coming your way in the studio with John Buccigross. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Ray Knight and our crew here in Atlanta, Bob Carpenter. Have some fun with the homers. John, it's all yours.